My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and today I wanted to talk about the stock market and a few things you may want to look out for as we begin this week with stock market investing. A lot of you are thinking about what's going on and where you want to put your money, and I'm going to kind of give you some thoughts on this. So get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I am your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about Black wealth and Black economics every day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day. And we talk about it under one condition. The condition is that we are Black first. That is the B1 philosophy. B1 means we put our community at the top of our priority list. B1 means that we solve our problems before we start solving problems for other people. B1 also means that we understand we must be one in order to be successful, and that B1 children are going to lead the world in economics, wealth development, and the development of industry, entrepreneurship, etc., within the next 50 years. If you agree with that idea, put a hashtag B in the number one in the chat. Put a hashtag B1 in the chat. So Shelton says, I like the new background, Doc. Thank you very much. You just experiment with some different things. In that logo, that panther behind me, that's the Black Business School Panther. Her name is Felicia. That is my grandmother, my late grandmother, rest her soul, who taught me about economics when I was a kid. And she never went to college. She got an associate's degree. But she didn't study finance, but she taught me the basics of common sense economics. And actually, I remember writing articles for Essence magazine when I was a professor, and I would call my grandmother and ask her for old school advice on finance and economics, because the Black woman is an intelligent being when she's at her best. Because you have a lot of y'all grew up with mothers who knew how to make $1 out of 15 cents, who knew how to feed a whole family of four off, $5 a week or whatever. And so that sort of economic thinking is something that does actually work well, and it does actually apply. And I take it from a guy who studied every financial theory, even at the highest levels. Shout out to my grandma; she's with me everywhere I go. So don't underestimate what you say to your kids, because what you say to those children, they're going to take that to the world. So if my grandmother had not introduced me to savings bonds when I was 5 and showed me compound interest, I might not be talking to you right now. So plant the seed, have the faith, plant the seed. Everybody type plant the seed in the chat, because you got to plant your seeds. You don't know what they're going to grow into. Just because your life isn't exactly where you want it to be, that doesn't mean that somebody else's life isn't going to be great because of a seed you planted right now. So everybody type plant the seed in the chat. All right, so let's talk about the stock market right now. Basically, there are a few things going on with the market. In case you want to know what I do, I sit around and I listen to all the different analysts all day long. Because I have a higher level type of thinking on finance, I can process the information and connect it with other pieces of information and kind of come together and form a conclusion on the dynamic that I might see going on with the market. And so I just listen to commentary all day. I take in all opinions. That is how you learn. That is how you get smarter at anything, is you take in all the perspectives and points of view that you possibly can, and that's what helps you to come to a conclusion. So basically, as I was sitting there and I was just kind of thinking about all the things going on with the market, a few things that I concluded is that there could be a crash in this market sometime this year. I've seen analysts talk about a potential 10 to 15% correction in the market. That's not the end of the world. But there was one guy who had made a really compelling argument. I don't remember his name, but he basically claimed that the stock market could see a correction, mainly because when he looked at what was it? I want to say he looked at market valuations relative to GDP, and he said it hasn't been this high since the tech bubble of 2000. If you recall, the tech bubble of 2000 was pretty terrible. He said the average, I don't remember if it was market valuation to GDP or something, but he said the average is like 0.8. During the tech bubble was 1.4. Now it's over 2, whatever this ratio was. And he said, so basically this ratio is way out of whack, which means that you could have a crash at any moment. Now, crashes are not that bad. The average bear market lasts about 14 months. Nobody really knows. We're kind of experimenting with a lot of things, and we don't know how this is going to play out. But I will say that you may want to have some cash to the side just in case the market does plummet. If the market plummets, that could be a buying opportunity. So a lot of the valuations are so high, it's hard to find the bargains anymore, even though things are going really, really well. Or corporate earnings are pretty strong. Now, there is some chance, though, that you could have a drop in earnings. There are some companies that are coming out with some warnings about consumers changing their behavior based on the Delta variant. Southwest was the first. There are some others. When earnings come out this week, if a couple of companies say, hey, we're noticing that there's some problems here, that could cause a bigger dip in your stock prices. Also, you have a cost increase issue where basically the PPI, producer price index, is going up, meaning that there is inflation, but it's more so on the producer side where the cost of doing business is going up. Now, so this means companies that have good pricing power, like a Chipotle, are going to do fine, right? Chipotle can simply take the cost and pass it on to the consumer. And then there are other companies like Procter and Gamble that are literally charging you the same price for cereal, but if you pay very close attention, they're actually changing the amount of cereal that you get for the same price. They're doing it in a real slick way to pass it to the consumer so it doesn't hurt their profit margin. But there is kind of an inflationary issue, a supply chain problem, a lot of it linked to what's going on with the Delta variant in China. For God's sake, they shut down one of the ports, which was a very big deal because the Chinese are pretty resilient. They don't shut down for anything. So that kind of makes me wonder if there's going to be more kind of happening as time goes on. Also, it is getting harder to get workers. Workers just, because of what's been going on, have kind of changed in terms of their willingness to go into the office and things like that. Now, there are companies, though, that are starting to cut pay for workers that don't want to come into the office. WeWork did a survey and found that companies companies basically say, look, you can stay home if you want to, but you're not going to make as much as you would make if you came into the office. So that's kind of a battle going on right now. But either way, I think it's worth it. I would have taken a 50% pay cut just to be at home because I like being at home and I like being comfortable. Now, what else is going on? There is I was paying close attention to Disney. I kind of like Disney right now. And by the way, if you join the Black Stock Market program, I share a lot of my stock picks and stuff like that. And also you can ask me questions in class. And I see some of you have questions today. I can't answer a lot of questions now, but we do class every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And if you can't make it live, the recordings are always available. So if you'd like to go give it a try, the first month is free. You can go to the blackstockmarketprogram.com. You can literally leave your question in advance. I will answer the question. I answer every single question that's submitted by the students. But a company that I really like right now, I like Disney because I feel like Disney is just such a smart company with such good management that this company is going to be able to ride through whatever's going on right now in the market. Disney is their parks are opening up. Their parks are profitable. Again, their streaming service is killing it. But once live sports kind of kicks back in, a lot of people think Disney's going to do well. So if you see a dip in Disney, I don't know if I'd buy it now, but if there is that crash I was talking about earlier and Disney drops, I would jump in and grab some Disney. In fact, I might grab some, maybe do a stock replication strategy with the stock options or something like that, because the Disney stock isn't cheap, but you can buy fractional shares and all that stuff. Also, there is an issue with consumer confidence. That's a problem because that could affect long-term corporate earnings. Basically, consumers are a little bit nervous right now. The University of Michigan does a sentiment survey where they try to see what people are thinking, where the mindset of the consumer is. And what they're finding is that consumers are just not so confident right now in terms of what's going to happen over the next 6 months to a year. This Delta variant has them worried. Our kids are going back to school. Alicia and I are sending our kids to school, and we're sitting here it's a ticking clock. We're waiting for the day to occur where they call us and tell us your child, needs to stay home for another year, another 6 months, because all the kids are packed in there like sardines and nobody's wearing masks. And we know that there's going to be an outbreak. And the question is, how do they respond to that? So that's kind of an issue, and that could affect corporate earnings. And if you have high producer side pricing, meaning higher costs of doing business and lower revenues, then what you're getting, what you could get is something called stagflation. We've talked about that. That's where you have high inflation and low GDP at the same time, which is a terrible place to be because it's very difficult to get out of stagflation. It's like letting the kitty cat out the front door. Once the cat gets out, you can't go chase it down. Now, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. And I'm going to remind you guys of this a lot. The All Black National Convention is going to happen at the end of October. This is where we gather, all the B1 people gather. We're going to gather in Orlando this year. It's the last weekend of October. We're going to have breakout sessions in every area of business, from crypto to real estate to buying a Black-owned hotel, forming investment clubs, speed networking, etc. But we're going to do social things like speed dating. We're going to have a masquerade ball where we're going to also do an award show. We're also going to have panel breakout sessions on everything from politics to relationships and everything else. So if you'd like to join us, the end of last week of October, bring your family. family, come as solo, bring your investment club, bring your church group, whatever you want to do. We want to bring you together because relationships are extremely important for wealth building. You can go to allblacknationalconvention.com and get early bird tickets now. The price will go up in a couple of days, but if you want to get your early bird tickets, go to allblacknationalconvention.com. And so there that URL's on the screen. All right, so what else? Let's see. Crypto. How many of you own crypto? How many of you have noticed that your crypto is probably doing pretty well? The crypto is really killing it. I don't know. I'm going to look right now because I noticed my crypto. Every time I look, there's more money there, so that's a good feeling to have, right? So yeah, crypto's still killing it. Right now, it looks like the top cryptos. Let me see which ones are doing the best. A lot of the ones that are doing the absolute best are the ones that are kind of obscure. There's one called Solana that I don't even know if that's traded. Oh, it is traded. Okay, it is traded on Coinbase, and Solana is for some reason doing extremely well. It's gone up about 40% in the last day. Dogecoin, congratulations to the Dogecoin holders. I'm not messing with Doge anymore, but God bless you if you are. There's another one called Polygon, Polkadot. Those are two cryptos that are doing extremely well. And so right now, crypto is just kind of doing, just killing it in every regard. I'm really excited about XRP because I'm a holder of XRP. XRP is doing extremely well. So once that lawsuit's over, I'm going to go cash in some of the XRP because I probably made about 100% ROI on the XRP, due to the lawsuit and having to pretty much hold it and not being able to sell. So sometimes being forced to hold is a good thing. Let's see here. There is an interesting story I saw today about Rand Paul, Senator Rand Paul. I'll pull up his picture so you guys can see who he is. Rand Paul did something really interesting when it comes to trading, where a lot of people think he might have done some insider trading. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but I'm gonna pull his face up on the screen. He's a funny looking white guy. He happens to be from Kentucky. And I think all the politicians are funny looking, to be honest with you. But here he is. And so Rand Paul is his wife actually bought stock in a company called Gilead Sciences right when the pandemic began. And Gilead Sciences actually created, I want to say they created the first vaccine or something. I don't remember, but Gilead Sciences is right in the center of the whole controversy with the pandemic. And he bought a bunch of Gilead Sciences stock, his wife did, and he didn't report it. Now, as a congressional official, you're supposed to report these things. And he says, I wrote the email to report it. I just forgot to hit the send button. But that's really interesting. I think that he probably did something illegal. I think they're going to probably overlook it. But that's just an interesting little story that I just saw. And what's also interesting is that I think that's the only stock that he's bought in the 10 years that he's been in the Senate, which makes it even that much more suspicious. So, shout out to the congressmen who get to evade the law that everybody else has to follow. The last point I'll bring up for you guys that's really interesting is that there is that restaurant owners are saying that demand is still high. What's interesting right now, and I think the word for today would be just confusion. Nobody really knows exactly what's going on with the market. Nobody really knows exactly what the next stages are because you're getting just so many mixed signals. Inflation, is it permanent or is it transitory? That's going to be huge in terms of the long-term valuations of your assets. Also, where's the inflation coming from? Is it on the producer side or the consumer side? Is it a supply chain issue related to the pandemic, or is it something that's deeper, more insidious, and harder to get rid of? When you talk about corporate earnings, are they going to continue to go up like they have been, justifying these insane multiples on the stock market, or are earnings going to drop because consumer sentiment is actually dropping? A lot of people don't know. And then also these valuations are really high, and a lot of it's due to loose monetary policy from the Fed. How long is that going to last? When's the Fed going to change their tune? And what's that going to look like for the market going through the rest of 2021 and into 2022? Nobody knows. So my one conclusion is I said, okay, boys, I call myself boys. I talk to myself a lot. I'm a weirdo like that. And I said, okay, boys, we're going to put some cash to the side. And we're going to wait. And when the market dips, when good companies like Amazon or Apple or Google or Disney dip, we're going to buy some more of that. because that's pretty much the most consistent, predictable thing in the world. And also, if you go log in at the blackstockmarketprogram.com, I have a bunch of stocks I listed for you guys that are in the program where basically these are companies that I really, really like. And at some point, I'm going to buy them all. I could not buy them all because a lot of my money's tied up, but these are all the companies I would have bought if I had the cash available. So feel free to go to the blackstockmarketprogram.com, look under the section, what Dr. Boyce is buying, and there's a bunch of stuff there. Jai, how much cash to the side? It depends. Some people maybe 10%, maybe 15% of your portfolio, maybe 5%, just whatever, whatever it is you want it to be. Okay, so do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, share, subscribe button. We meet for a stock market investing class on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern. That's when you can send me your questions in advance. I also want to mention to you guys know that we make movies, and we're building a Black-owned movie industry. We're not just talking about it, we're getting it done. And our movie, the latest movie, is called Till Death Do Us Part, which is all about relationships, because we concluded in our research on Black wealth and why Black wealth is dropping. We figured out that the part of the reason that it's dropping is because trauma keeps us from having the ability to form healthy relationships. You cannot name a community that builds wealth at a massive scale that doesn't have strong families. So when you have all your families breaking up, when 80% of your kids are growing up without a mother and a father in the house, that kills a lot of your ability to build wealth. So so we're showing this film for free. You just got to show up live. We're on stage 4. We're broken into 6 pieces to make it into like a relationship masterclass. It's been extraordinary. Thousands of you have shown up. We're very happy. Our movies have been seen by millions of people, and we're doing this on our own. We're not getting money from the Democrats. We're not getting money from white folks. We're not getting money from corporations. This is something that we're doing, and it's real. And I want to tell you guys about it. So hopefully you'll be a part of it, because the more you support, the more you participate, the more you connect, the easier it is for us to grow and actually achieve this thing. Okay, so come to the movie for free on Thursday night at 8 p.m. It's blackmovienight.net. That's where you can come to watch the movie for free. We're also going to have relationship breakouts at the All Black National Convention. So that's the URL on the screen. If you want to join the Black Stock Market Program, I'll put the URL up one more time. Make sure you write it down. Somebody type it in the chat so that others can see it. It's the blackstockmarketprogram.com. All right, guys. So I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope this conversation was helpful to you. And God bless you. And I'm going to go spend some time with my wife. And I love you. And I'll see you soon. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out. I'll talk to you later. Peace.